Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. Getting started at 8:40 today. So not 9 a.m. right on the dot, not 8:30 right on the dot. Just it's a challenge sometimes to get ready with a bad ankle. So, here we are. Plus, hanging out with the baby and stuff like that. And she's going to go off with grandma and all that stuff. So 8:40. I was ready at 8:34, but give myself a few more minutes. Get everyone a chance to get their coffee or their caffeine or whatever they're doing. So if you're new, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back on here. First half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, and anything else that jumps out at me on the watch list. Second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. We're still working from undisclosed area at my mom's house somewhere in Arizona from the laptop, no microphone, no camera, just everything from the laptop. So it's a little bit more of a challenge. The Wi-Fi has been good this week, but it was a little spotty this morning. So we'll see if we can get through it without any interruption. We're going to try to keep this to an hour. And then we're going to switch rooms, the wife and I, and she's going to take a couple video calls herself in about an hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to keep it less than that and get it rock and rolling. Help me with the algorithms on Twitter X along with YouTube. I appreciate it. Smash the like button, hit the comments, and everything else like that. So with that, Bitcoin dropped 36%. Is the NASDAQ next? Question mark. That's what we're going to take a look at today. I got a lot of things to cover, and we'll might as well just dive right in. So before we get to all that, Christians Peta 85. Hola. Buenos dias. Morning, Jesse. Signed up for the bot center here. How long does it take for them to show up in the invite only section? 24 to 48 hours. We still have to do so. Everything is 100% fully automated. Jerry B. And by the way, welcome. Good morning. So Discord, you get instant access. Discord, the dashboard, you just have to create an account. So you get instant access to all that. You can, once you create an account on the website, you can also manage your subscription, cancel anytime. There's no refunds, but because we would have to do all that manually. But it is set up to where if you do cancel, you do have access to everything till the end of the month or the end of your subscription. So, but we still have, the only thing we have to do manually is add you to, and you'll also get into the exact private channels within the Discord, but we still have to add you to Trading View. So 24 to 48 hours, but we're usually, it's me or Alex that helps out with that. So we're usually faster than that. So awesome. Are you a day trader? I don't consider myself a day trader at all. I'm a swing trader, but I do day trades from time to time. But I'm not a day trader because I would get wore out. Now, I've had the trading bot set up as a day trader, one that I haven't released to the public. So the trading bot is a day trader, but me, I would get wore out over time. I prefer swing trades. But if the setup looks super clean, then maybe I'll do a day trade on the 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart or something like that. But not. I don't consider myself a day trader. No, I consider myself a swing trader. The trading bot is set up on the day trader though. All right. So with that, let's jump right into it. The trading bot can handle 1, 5, 10, 15 trades a day. I would get wore out, and then I'm going to be diluted, and I'm not going to be as good, right? So that's why I stick to swing trading myself. or put the trading bot on for as a day trader. So Bitcoin dropped 36%, right? From the wick to wick, almost 37%. Is the NASDAQ next? Well, if we go back to 2021, 2022, Bitcoin's top was November 2021. There was bearish divergence at the top, just like there was in 2025. And Bitcoin started to roll over in November. And then if we look back, the NASDAQ and the SP 500 all started to roll over in December. So it was behind and or January, right? And or January. So we've shown a couple charts the last couple days on the NASDAQ and the SP 500. So we'll take a look at it again. But is Bitcoin leading the way again? That's the question. And I think it is. So long story short, I think it is. So we'll see how it plays out. And we'll take a look at the charts. But real quick, this is the Bitcoin weekly chart we've been watching. You can see the wick all the way through target 2. This is the Heikin-Ashi log chart. And obviously, I don't expect this to play out exactly. It's just as an idea that, it's possible we come down to that $74,000 price in the next week or two, then maybe see a relief rally. But doesn't mean that the local bottom isn't in at 80,400 and we bounce back up into maybe target 1, let the trading dust catch up, and then drop down further to target 3. So, expect similarities, but expect this time is different too. But to be clear, I'm saying it's a bear market, and any bounce is a short the bounce opportunity. But, which bounce are you shorting, right? So you got to watch out for the relief rally. So if you're in a short already, did you take profit? Are you letting it reset? Are you gonna, the next defined lower high, whether it's over here in January, February, however it plays out, would you be attacking back over here? All that stuff. So, or are you just sitting in cash waiting to buy the next right dip? Buy the right dip, right? So, to be clear, I don't think you should short Bitcoin unless you have experience, and because you have to use leverage to short Bitcoin. So even if that was like 2x or 3x, like I wouldn't recommend shorting Bitcoin unless you have experience doing it. So I mean, at one point you have to get experience, but you could have started with a paper trading account and gained some experience with that. So, but going to cash is basically a short position because you're trying to collect 4 to 5% on your money while it goes through this 12-month potential correction. And we're in the 8th week right now. So 7 weeks have started and it has been completed, and we're in the 8th week right now. And so we'll see if this plays out or not. Come back down, hit target 3, hit target 4, retest the 200-week moving average. In the past, Bitcoin has come down below the 200-week moving average. In the past, Bitcoin has come down and hit target 5. We don't know if that's going to happen again. We don't pretend to have a magic crystal ball. We just, we spot patterns. We spot, based off experience of obsessively looking at the charts. We spot, similarities of like assets. We spot similarities of the past bull run and bear market, right? So I'm not just a bear. We're showing bullish divergence here because we already played that out. We already went through all this. I shorted over here on Ethereum, and Ethereum went below $1,000. I was calling out bullish divergence for 8 weeks, and then was looking for a higher probability of a reversal, breaking on this downward wedge on the regular candles, not the Heikin-Ashi. And at 16,800, I took my first 5x leverage long position here. So we were there at the bottom. We were closing out a 10x leverage long. I felt like I was late at 61,000. right? Where is it? $61,000, right? So I felt like I was late to the party closing it out there because at one point it was at 68,000 and I gave back unrealized gains of like $60,000. Still locked in a 6-digit win, but gave back like 60,000 at least. I can't remember now, but it was unrealized gains and I gave back $60,000 on that one. But still locked in a 6-figure trade. So it was 10x leverage, right? What else? Yeah, so we're still watching this. The trending dots are trending downward. We had a monthly MACD bearish crossover. We had the RSI, right? All things we've been covering, but we had the longer term bearish divergence on the weekly chart. We had the lower high. We had the lower low over here, right? And it's bearish, right? It's bearish. So that's what we're watching still. 2-week chart had an RSI sell signal, right? Had a regular sell signal as well up here. You can see that. And we talked about this in that hasn't happened since 2022, right? This sell signal over here was above green trending dots, so it was trending upward. This is a 2-week candle close below the trend dots, similar to over here, right? And then you can see price did go down, go up, go down, go up. And then there was a second sell signal and came back down and retested the 200-week moving average, right? So that's what we're expecting. And then, of course, there was a 2-week chart buy signal after the bullish divergence as well. And that was at like $23,000 Bitcoin. So that's the 2-week chart. 3-week chart looking at has a pending sell signal on the 3-week chart. Had bearish divergence on the 3-week chart. It's bearish. It's bearish. This would be a 3-week candle close below the trend dots. Not seen since this 3-week candle closes below the trend dots. First time since 2022, right? No 3-week candle closes this entire way. No 3-week candle closes this here. Probably can see it a little bit better if I hide all that, right? Candle close, sell signal all the way back to the 200-week moving average. No 3-week candle closes all the way until this potential 3-week candle. Doesn't close for 5 more days. But the trending dots are at like $100,000. So 3-week candle close, signaling that we're going to go back and retest the 200-week moving average, which is below $60,000, right? Monthly chart, bearish divergence followed by RSI sell signal, pending, right? Pending. So it's a long time until the monthly chart happens. Long time. But if you look at it, let's see, we do have the MACD here. Monthly MACD have the bearish crossover, right? So you get the 0 line. It's multiple deviations away from the 0 line. You had the histogram, bearish divergence. Then you had a bullish crossover in April or May. You could even change the settings here, right? Those are the standard settings. And you can see there's still a crossover July 2023, bearish crossover February 2022. So it's late. It's late to the party, right? So that's what we're looking at, right? So it's late to the party, and there's still a lot of experts, influencers, right, that are saying that the bull market is still on. Well, saying that the bull market is starting back here in January and February, like we were talking about, and taking long positions back January 4th, right? That's not what's happening, right? Down here is the time to be bullish. Up here is the time to be bearish. Up here is the time to be bearish. Down here is the time to be bullish, right? So even if you switch this all the way down to 5, right? There's still, it's more aggressive on the monthly chart, but you can see January 22, it had a bearish crossover. It's late. April 2023 had a bullish crossover. It's late. We were 3 months ahead of that. This is a lagging, slow monthly indicator. November 2025 had a bearish crossover. It's late. We were talking about the top being in around October 8th, right? October 6th was in hindsight the top, but it started off as a local top and put out the Wyckoff distribution at October 8th when price was at 123,700. And in hindsight, it dropped to 80,600, below target 4, right? We said multiple candle closes below target 4 on the daily chart would be another milestone that it's in a bear market. So how much confirmation do you need, right? How much confirmation do you need? This, I always make fun of the experts, the influencers, right? Who are still arguing that we're in a bull market when all you needed was the simple MACD monthly chart, right? So if you can't even outperform that, what's the point? You might as well just do the monthly MACD on setting 5, right? So January 2022. So if you were to put on like, let's see, boom. Right? So once the monthly MACD crossed, it still came down 63%. Once there was a monthly MACD bullish crossover, right? That's at 240%. That would probably outperform most people, right? And then now, after the monthly MACD bearish crossover, price is down 15%. So you could have outperformed many of the so-called experts out there with their models, their plan B models, their plan XYZ models, their quantum on-chain data models. You probably outperform all of that if they're still bullish right now. If they're still bullish right now, could probably outperform them with a MACD monthly chart. So what's the point? But you know, they have huge followers, right? 200,000 followers, 600,000 followers, right? So anyways, that's the monthly. Back on the daily chart. Expect bounces along the way, right? Expect bounces along the way. This is the daily chart. We're still in the Heikin-Ashi. No. So daily chart. That's where we're at. Let's see. Let's go over here. A couple ideas. See if it gets rejected at this first downward trend line, right? So we drew this out yesterday. We drew out this orange scenario, something similar to it back over here about a week or so, maybe 10 days ago. But yesterday we adjusted it because we adjust in real time. Just as an idea, it's possible. We had this trend line drawn out yesterday. So if it gets rejected, it comes back down, creates bullish divergence, maybe a higher low, and then come up and hit some more targets to the upside based off of a relief rally. Both of these scenarios are relief rallies. So both of these scenarios, I would expect lower prices, right? Both of them. So however it plays out, comes up, puts in bearish divergence. Who knows how it plays out exactly, but something like that. So both scenarios are relief rallies. So we'll see how it plays out. But again, it can come up to this downward trend line, get rejected, start closing back below this first target, come all the way down here, remove these targets, redraw them, etc., etc. So for now, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. This would still complete the Wyckoff pattern, in my opinion. It completed about 96% of it, right? So how did I come up with that number? Anyways, let's see. 76, about a 40%. And it hit 36.5. Is that how I came up with it? Let's just call it 36.5. It's more like 91 to 92% of it. So I don't know how I came, just eyeball test 96%, I guess. So it hit like 91, 92% of the Wyckoff distribution. So it's possible it gets rejected here, still comes down, completes it, and then puts in bullish divergence, higher low, and then relief rally, right? However high the relief rally goes, probably not as high as what people hope or want, but you'll still see, even if price comes down here, you'll still see permabulls call, that's about right. You would still, or maybe 40%, right? You would still see permabulls call out new all-time highs. They did in 2022. They'll do it again, right? They did. That kind of lines up with that pivot point there, right? So is this the relief rally? So that's what we're watching. So let's move this up. Boom. Right? So if it doesn't go this deep, maybe it's just it's a lesser relief rally, like 30 to 35%. If it goes deeper, maybe it's a 40% relief rally, right? So that's what I'm kind of thinking as of right now. I'm going to take that off. But right now it's getting rejected at this downward trend line. See if it comes all the way back down, puts in that bullish divergence, higher low, let's go, relief rally, Santa Claus rally, right? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get into that. But for now, that's Bitcoin down more than 36%. And then now we have a bounce and everyone's excited again, right? Everyone's excited. It's up 16% after dropping 36%. What else? What else? What else? What else? You think you'll invest? I would probably, like, for me, probably stick to what I did in January 4th, 2023, and that was Bitcoin leverage. So however that's going to be, we'll see how it goes. If I do, I won't go all in, right? It would be, maybe if I was playing some options or something, maybe I would. But I mean, I did play the miners, right? I did play the miners. I didn't play MicroStrategy. It's kind of let MicroStrategy be my canary in the coal mine for the bear and parts of the bull market too. So maybe not, but I'm open to it. BitX, maybe not, because if I play the miners, probably would be doing options anyways, so I don't even need the 2x leverage. Okay. 110s now. I'm definitely bear hoping this goes down. It's not hard to jump in. It's hard to not jump. Yeah. Yep. So if you're in cash, and obviously none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. And while we're at it, none of this is sponsored. We're going to come back to this quarter. We're going to circle back. Let's see. Remove and stop screen share, and what happened? There we go. We'll get it figured out. Boom. So none of this is sponsored. I don't have any affiliate links. I get approached all the time. I haven't taken $1 of affiliate money. So we do promote our one thing, the website. And so you can find our website on Jesse Olson Twitter or YouTube Jesse Olson Inc. Or you can find it on Market Sniper Pro, Twitter X, all that stuff. So trading bot. And so we did roll out recently for $49 a month or $4.90 per year that the two trading bots, right? Sharpshooter candles 4.21, Sharpshooter RSI 3.2. And if you want the regular indicators to go with it, we can add you to it. But these are the trading bots that are built off of that with some wrinkles in it, some variations of it with, additional filters, trailing stop loss, move stop loss to break even, take profit, scaling take profits, all that stuff, right? Filters, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, the dashboard as well. And liquidity might be coming soon. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that all in there for $49. Obviously, it's not going to stay $49 forever, but we will be doing all that. So quick little plug. Let's see, remove and stop screen share screen. And there we go. Okay. So I sold everything at 110. Yep. And so that's the difficult challenge is, and some of the market snipers that have been in there for 3-4 years still have this, they have the same mindset, right? Some of them, came and found the Discord later on in March, April 2022. And because we didn't start the Discord till the end of February 2022. And so they wanted to learn how to maybe short the bounce. I said, don't do it unless you're ready for it. So they did the 60 hours of recorded coaching, all that stuff. I had the indicators built, and then I went down the journey of creating trading bots for 3.5 years, and just started releasing them. I have like 30 trading bots I'm going to be releasing over time. But that's probably the hardest thing. Some might go to cash or find other assets that look like they have bullish setups, but waiting patiently for it to play out. Like, one thing that could help you is looking at the higher time frames, looking at the monthly MACD, looking at the monthly RSI, sharpshooter RSI that we have, or the 3-week chart or the 2-week chart. So looking at the higher time frames will help stay with what the overall trend is, expecting bounces along the way. So, it just comes down to being patient on it, I guess. Not financial advice, educational purposes only. Hopefully you have a little bit of fun along the way. Woo! I don't pay attention to any of that tactical pew pew. That's all noise. Sure, that's good for like intraday scalps, intraday day trading for volatility, but the longer term trend is not pumped by any of this pump and dump, right? None of that matters longer term. I just only stare at the charts. I only trust what I see on the charts. News, narratives, XYZ talking head, XYZ politician, XYZ blah, 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 blah. All narratives, all news, all noise. The 3 N's: news, narratives, and noise. I only can trust what I see in the charts. That's it. I don't trust anything else. I'm not going to make any business decisions based off of news, noise, or narratives. That's why on the Discord we say block out the noise, right? Block out the noise. So it's not free for everyone to join. There's a tiny paywall, and that's by design. I have over 71,000 followers on Twitter. There's plenty of noise on Twitter. So the Discord, we have more than 200 people in there, almost 300, to block out the noise. We don't want 50,000 people in the Discord. It would get very noisy. We don't want that. So it would impact it. The speech probably impacts it based off of short-term trading, scalps or day trading, but it doesn't impact swing trading. Just shorter term, not longer term. What else? Where am I at? So we'll see if it gets rejected here. And then which path it'll take. But whatever path it takes, I'm expecting it just to be a relief rally. I'm not expecting it to make a new all-time high. So if it makes a new all-time high, then we have to readjust what we're seeing. But the higher time frames would have to be rolling over as well, and that's going to take time for the ship to get turned around. I wouldn't be expecting a V-shaped recovery after what's been done. So, what else? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's get into the other. What else are we seeing? Right? What else are we seeing? NASDAQ's flat today. 0.05%. So is at the top? Maybe. Too early to call it yet. See, are we on? Okay, good. So this is kind of the way I look at it for the NASDAQ. Bitcoin led the way, right? One target's been hit so far. Is this going to be a lower high? Is there going to be a lower high over here? That would be the higher probability that we're going to see much lower prices on the NASDAQ. So Bitcoin led the way, 36% drop. The NASDAQ has only hit one target so far, about 9.5%. Bitcoin not only hit all 4 targets, but went below it. So if Bitcoin leads the way and the NASDAQ comes down and hits 4 targets, that would be 24% drop on the NASDAQ. If it comes down below target 4 on the shorter term targets, the NASDAQ could be down 25 to 30%, right? So is it leading the way for the NASDAQ? I think it might be, right? I think it might be. similar to 2022, where you finally had a weekly candle close below the trailing dots, January 2022. We don't have, it was close there. We don't have a weekly candle close below the trailing dots as of yet. Then followed by a sell signal, right? So that's where we're at. Candle close below the trailing dots, sell signal, dropped 20, 25%, right? We're all over that. We're all over it. So we'll see if we get a weekly candle close below. Then there was another one. Then there's a sell signal. Expect bounces along the way, all the way down to the 200-week moving average, September 2022, right? And then January 2023, Bitcoin was already breaking out. Bitcoin already had a buy signal 2 weeks prior. So again, Bitcoin led the way to the upside as well, right? So Bitcoin led the way to the upside. January 4th, I was taking a buy position on Bitcoin, and January 9th, January 10th, right around there, Bitcoin had a buy signal. Yeah, January 9th. Bitcoin had a buy signal on the weekly chart, so it was leading the way by a couple of weeks to the upside. So if Bitcoin is down here, right, seems like it's leading the way. SP 500, similar thoughts, could be leading the way. Go over to Ethereum, catching a bounce, hit 5 targets to the downside so far, even wicked below target 5, 24.52, and catching a bounce right now. Algo, this is a hopeful bounce. If we can get a bounce, maybe a higher low, there's bullish divergence, right? I think so. Let's see. Bullish divergence, right? So we got bullish divergence. See if we get a higher low, breakout over here, and that would be a nice bounce. We don't know for sure, but say from here to here, 200-week moving average, that'd be a 70% bounce, right? That'd be a good bounce. XRP, similar. But looking at further consolidation, right? Cardano, however the price action plays out for a bounce, you get the trending dots on the weekly chart. This is a weekly chart, trending dots. So we did all this yesterday. Chainlink, pending buy signal on Chainlink. This is the weekly trending dots. So we could be getting a bounce all the way up to the trending dots on the weekly chart. So we'll see what happens. We'll look at the daily, kind of lines up with the weekly trending dots over there. This is a more aggressive downward trend line. So however it plays out, if that's a possibility, right? Bounce, consolidate, and go, right? That looks very similar to Telcoin that we did the other day. Someone requested Telcoin, so you can look on. You can look on the previous live stream. We don't want to cover the same stuff over and over and over again on things that were not on the watch list, really. But seems like some bounces are incoming. Chop Suey. Bitcoin dominance is going to be a lower high over here, and we're going to get a bigger bounce on some of these altcoins. Possible. What else? What else? Dollar dropping. Weekly chart could be coming back in for a test of the trailing dots, which we talked about yesterday. Maybe it finds support, a sell signal above the green trending dots, finds support, and then maybe comes back up and retests 200. PLTR. There is a gap up here. I don't know if it would get that high, but there is a gap. Let's see. It's not a big gap, but it's a 3% gap. Call it a gap. Smaller gap. So we'll put in a lower high. Veritone. Back above the 200-week moving average. That's a positive sign. Buy signal yesterday. Not only above the trailing dots, but above the 200-week moving average. Still might play out. BitX, 2X ETF. Pending RSI buy signal, right? So it could be bouncing. AGQ. Gap everywhere. Hive. AI. There's a pretty big gap over here on AI. Tiny gap over here. Small gap. Bum, bum, bum. Interesting. No bullish divergence, though. I take that back. I take that back. There is bullish divergence over here. Is that a sneaky higher low? Maybe. That's bullish divergence. Okay. It's interesting. Carvana. Altcoin. Is that a higher low? MicroStrategy. The canary in the coal mine over here. Letting the weekly trailing dots catch up. Right? It was getting oversold on the weekly chart. Just as it's getting overbought on the weekly chart, right? So expect bounces along the way. That's what we do. Or if it's in a bull run and it's getting overbought, expect pullbacks along the way, right? So bullish over here, dropped over here, and then finished higher. So expect pullbacks along the way in a bull run. Expect bounces along the way in a bear market. So it's definition of a bear market. No matter how you define it, 54 weeks of a downtrend without making a new all-time high. 54 weeks and down 71%. No matter how you define a bear market, that's a bear market. So the last bear market for MicroStrategy lasted a long time. A lot of similarities, right? Top was in, huge wick, battle, and eventually got very close to the 200-week moving average, bounced into the trailing dots, and then closed below it, right? So many similarities. Look at all the negative earnings. Unbelievable, right? So that's 50 weeks. That pivot low was 50 weeks. It's like deja vu, right? And then the pivot over here was at 59 weeks. And then it retested the 200-week moving average 64 weeks later. It was in a bear market for a long time. We should do the fractal on it. Yeah. Let's see. Do we want to put it on log? Let's see. God, it's like identical. That's crazy. That's nearly identical. There's so many similarities, right? I'm not stretching it to make it look better than it needs to. It's crazy. Look at that. One bounce, second bounce, right? It's different. This is 50 weeks. This was 54 weeks, I think it was. Yeah, 54 weeks. That was 50 weeks. So, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Get this bearish engulfing candle over here on the weekly. Bounce back up into the trailing dots, and then drop again, right? Oh, but I'm already seeing it. Bottom is in on MicroStrategy. I'm buying, right? All the way up to 233. Maybe it wicks higher, and then drops another 55, 60% from there, right? I'm already seeing it. So, and then, I should have done it longer, because then it was like 60. Let's see. If you look at all the bullish divergence and stuff too, it would stay down here for a long time. So crazy. Very similar. Let's go off a log. Yep. So interesting. We're going to leave that on. So that's the canary in the coal mine, playing out almost identical to 2021 and 2022. So, woo! Top was in on that wick. Top was in. I had a question mark on it, and then came all the way down, right? So before it broke back above, from the time that the top was in to the time that broke back above the 200-week moving average, 121 weeks, right? So imagine if it from here stays below the 200-week moving average all the way till March 2027. That's insane. That was last cycle. So if people are holding it and are in a negative position, it's possible they hold it for a very long time, right? The forced hodlers, right? Again, so that's MicroStrategy. Let's see. Let's go back to the stream. Yeah, that's about it. What are we at? About an hour? Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. What else? Piton. Tesla. Is Tesla going to put in a lower high? So 3 targets to the downside. The 4th target has not been hit yet. It's possible we see a lower high, right? Wherever that is. Who knows? But if so, then we'll see if it comes down to his target 4. Retest target 3. Retest target 2. So we will see. But right now, it's only hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside. Let's go to the Magnificent 7. Netflix continues to drop. Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, NASDAQ, Apple, QQQ. What a short squeeze that was on ANF. Holy moly guacamole. TQQ. The Russell was leading the way to the downside on hit one target and even went below that. And we're still looking to see if there's going to be a lower high put in. So we'll see. PLTR probably going to bounce. Who knows if it comes up here and fills that gap like we already talked about. UNH. So this is bullish divergence over here. This looks like a possible higher low, right? Had this gap as 16% gap up over here. So we will see. Could be bouncing back up into the 200-week moving average. That makes sense. This would be a decent bounce, right? 72%. I think that gap would take longer to get filled, but maybe not. You had the bullish divergence, buy signal over here, battle, fill that gap, come all the way down over here, put in a higher low potentially, and see if it breaks out to the upside. Woo-wee. Bitcoin, HODL. What else? Still in a downtrend. Bum, 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 bum. See if there's bullish divergence. Maybe not. It's a question mark. See, there's no bullish divergence as of yet. And I think that's about it. So I think we'll leave it there. I'm not seeing any other requests. I think someone mentioned BCH. We'll take a look at BCH. Is that? I'm assuming, is that crypto? Maybe there's both. Let's see. Let's go all. So is it Bitcoin Cash or is it Banco de Chile? That's why I always say put in all the details. Put in probably Bitcoin Cash, I would assume. But if you don't put in all the details, I don't want, sometimes people do want the bank or whatever. So, Bitcoin Cash. All right, I'll do it. Yeah, you got to put in all the details, Corey. That way, when I search for it, then we don't waste time and we don't chart the wrong thing. It's happened in the past. Which one do we want? Which exchange? Cash futures. Okay, there you go. This is daily chart. Weekly chart. I mean, it's bullish right now, right? It's bullish on the daily chart. It's bullish on the weekly chart. It's bullish on the 2-week chart. The last buy signal on the 2-week chart was at 400. If you do the eyeball test, this is like longer term target 1. It's probably longer term target 2, longer term target 3, longer term target 4, right? So what else? 3-week chart is bullish. Monthly chart is bullish, right? So seems like it wants to come up and hit target 3, wherever that is. I'm not going to map it out right now, but target 4 is a possibility. So we'll see. Some of the crypto assets have hit all 4 targets. Some of them only hit 1 or 2. Chainlink hit 3 out of 4, and some even went on to make new all-time highs. So we don't know which one's which, but it is bullish as of right now on all the time frames. Daily, weekly, 2-week, 3-week, monthly chart. So that's what I'm looking at over there. So it is bullish. I don't know if you're in a trade right now or not. But yeah, it's bullish on those time frames. So what else? What else? I think that's about it. Bitcoin Cash. So the difference is Bitcoin Cash looked like it was over here below the 200-week moving average. And then now it's back above the 200-week moving average, right? So it's like in this area here or this area over here, where it was already into like target 1, target 2, maybe target 3, maybe target 4, right? So it looks different. It looks different. It was going through all this consolidation over here around the 200, and now it's back above it, bullish, whereas Bitcoin already did all of that for the last couple of years and then went on to make new all-time highs, and now it's coming back to the 200-week moving average. So that's the key difference. Bitcoin was multiple deviations away, and whereas Bitcoin Cash was consolidating near the 200-week moving average. So with that, hope everyone has a good rest of your day, and we'll continue sniping the markets together, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for helping me, help me with the algorithms, smashing the like button, sharing with your friends and family, reposting, commenting, all that stuff on whatever app you're watching it on. And with that, we'll see you on the next stream. Adios.